Hello and welcome to today's reading. Today we are using the Illustrated Encyclopedia of World Mythology, and as always, all of the books or decks that are used in my readings are linked in the description box, so if you want to check out any of the materials we use today, you can go down there and see that. And we are on page 206, Norse Heroes. The Vikings were famed for their fighting spirit, facing death and doom with vigor and courage. Their hardy heroism was doubtless shaped by the crushing Nordic climate, but also by a stoic fatalism. While accepting the inevitability of death on the field and doom at the end of the world, the Norsemen fought with undiminished spirit. For the Vikings, word fame was everything, redeeming and surviving a hero's death. After death, the bravest heroes went to Valhalla, where they awaited the fated and fatal showdown at Ragnarok. No less than the heroes, the Norse gods were heroic, facing doom at Ragnarok with fighting spirit. Finnish heroes were quite as determined and brave in their ways, though perhaps less grand and stoic. Armed with magical forces, they battled with an incantation rather than force of arms. For the Finns, death was not always final. Lemminkainen had more than one life, while aged Väinämöinen could always slip out of a tight corner by shifting shape. What I'm getting is that you are experiencing something that it's a struggle. It's something that you have to overcome. And you have come upon this type of a struggle in the past, and you have gotten through it using specific techniques or a mindset or just having a certain attitude towards it. And for whatever reason, this time, it's not working, or you know that that's what you need to do, but you can't bring yourself to actually do it. And what I am getting is that you're being guided to try new things. You've got to get out of your box. And the reason that you aren't able to go through this particular trial this time using the same techniques isn't because the technique doesn't work. It's because this is more of a learning experience than a can you get through this experience. Whereas before it was almost an endurism trial. This time it's a how adaptable can you be? And you are being encouraged to try different approaches because you are supposed to be picking up new tools. You may not like to hear this, but I am getting that you are going to have a repeat of this particular issue or ones that are very similar to it in the next few, I want to say years. But it's not because you are being punished or because you didn't learn a lesson or because your karma is bad or anything like that. It's literally so that you are forced into a position where you learn new skills, because these new skills are going to enhance the beauty and abundance of your life in the future. You have been led to the point where you no longer can cope with life, and you must take it by the reins and make something of it yourself. In the past, you had to cope because there was no possible opportunity for you to escape the experience that you were in. But you have done a lot of work, you have grown up, you have reached certain points where you have new freedoms, and because of that, coping is not enough for you anymore. It never was, but it was enough to keep you alive. And now you don't have to just stay alive. You can do that anyway. Now it's time to let go of these coping skills and mechanisms and transform your mindset, your perception of reality, your approach to life entirely. And the only way you can do that is by picking up these new tools. So if you are experiencing a recurring issue right now or in the future, in the near past, what's being highlighted is the way that you used to deal with stuff is no longer applicable to you. You are not in survival mode anymore. You're in God mode now. It's time for you to learn the tools that are at your fingertips. And there are infinitely many. And that's the thing. They're kind of like smiling at me. Your guides, they're seeing you struggling and you're frustrated because it doesn't work anymore. And they're laughing because you have all of these new toys almost. And they're all behind you, like in a a bow, like in a line, a curved line, and you're sitting in front of them cross-legged, and your toy in front of you is broken, and you're so upset. And they're laughing because all you have to do is turn around, and anything you could possibly think of that you would want or experience or anything like that is right behind you. It's right there under your nose. All you have to do is think it into existence. And there's a saying that necessity is the mother of all invention, and it's so true. And this is exactly the type of energy that you're being pushed into right now. So if you're feeling frustrated and like, oh my God, I know I've fixed this, I know I've gone through this, I don't need to learn this lesson anymore, what am I missing? You're not missing anything. You're right. However, this is familiar grounds that you get to play on. Get to play, not have to endure. So this is something that you know very well, something that you experienced. That means you know what the end goal should look like or what getting out of it looks like. And now it's time to be creative about how you get there. Or maybe you want to change the story entirely. The advice that I asked for some advice for you for how to pull yourself out of this same mentality that you've been when approaching this, because it's very difficult to create new pathways out of thin air without really taking a step back. And what I'm almost getting is that you should be writing down this trial, like write it down like a plot. Maybe you can look up plot, like movie plots or fiction plots or something like that. Look that up and then try to format this particular challenge and all the steps that you remember taking in the past into that plot line. And then think about it as a story that you're reading. And what do you wish the story, like write fan fiction of your own story. Do you know what I mean? Actually, if you're interested in AI at all, you could probably write down a plot line like, so-and-so is experiencing this. In the past, they've done this. Please write a new version of this story and just start getting creative. I'm not saying that you have to actually do those things, but start getting creative. Maybe share it with other people as a storyline. Like if you were at a campfire and you were telling this story of this struggle, what would the hero do that would surprise the audience? What would the hero experience that would shock him or her into a totally new mindset? What would happen if this thing that never was conceived of before happened within the context of this storyline? Because that is the amount of freedom that you have when it comes to this particular thing, and actually in your whole life. And I think that's the ultimate point of getting you to engage with this exercise. Your guides are with you, they're having fun with you, and they want you to enjoy this process. In the past, it hasn't been something to enjoy, but in the present, it's the opportunity to take these past bitter events and turn it into something sweet. Turn it into something that you can even look forward to, potentially. Like if you have an ex-lover, for example, and it's always been very awkward whenever you see each other. Well, how can that be funny or interesting or exciting in the future? And it's almost like they're trying to get you to understand this dynamic in a different way entirely, where it is entirely up to you to create the drama for the fun of it, right? I don't mean, chaos stirring for the sake of pain, but chaos stirring for the sake of, poking fun at life. I keep thinking of the comedian Joe Lycett. He likes to mess with scammers by responding to them in emails and like playing along with the scam. I'm getting that kind of sort of trickstery energy where it's all good-natured and you want good things to come of it. It's just that you're not taking things so seriously as you did in the past. It's very annoying that these things are happening, but you can use them to amuse yourself almost. I hope that this made sense. I feel like it was a little bit out there. I really hope that this made sense. Anyway, I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Leave it a like if you liked it. Let me know in the comments what you're going through, what's going on. I'd love to hear about it. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell and select all notifications so that you actually get updated every time I upload a new video. Until next time, bye.